Hey guys, what's good? What's good? How you all doing? You guys are having an amazing time. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. If you're joining for the first time, this is the Crazy Hunter, where we trade life and also teach people exactly how to make money and also how to turn their ideas into money, right? I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to turn your EA, how to turn your strategies to EA, and basically how to just basically do everything we do here is just basically trading related. So you're gonna love the channel. So if you're watching for the first time, all you want to do is to join, let's do it together. Okay, gonna subscribe to the channel, family. All right, okay. What do we have today? All right, we have a couple of key levels today, so we're gonna have nice areas. Okay, so hopefully we're able to get into trades today. Let's look at US30. Okay. I just want to confirm that everything is okay. Can you guys hear me good? Can you guys hear me properly? All right, you guys can hear me. So let's proceed. But then send out some analysis guys on Telegram. All right, so um, all right, just to give you guys quick explanation to what I have on my chart. Okay, I have the TCH out level on the chart. All right, it basically helped me to measure key levels, most recent key levels on the chart. That's what I have. So I don't have to go through the stress, Other live streams, right? I mean, before I would need to start analyzing these markets one after the other and start looking for key levels where I feel like price is gonna react to, but for now, moving forward, we're not doing that no more. The reason is because we have this indicator on the chart. All right, so that indicator just do the heavy lifting for that, on that for us. So basically it basically just take trades for us. Sorry, it basically just help us to mark key levels on the chart, right? So if I wanted to take trades for me, right, we can easily just we can give it like a full automation, but we're not doing that right now. So we're just going to mark key levels on the chart, then we're just going to proceed from there, right? It works, guys. It really works. So US30, what do we have? I have a key level right here, okay, at 48,346, right, level. That's where my key level is at. So what that means, that's going to be my buy zone, okay. I need to silence this one. Okay, we're gonna be going live on TikTok starting on Monday, right? So to make it more easier for people to access this, so we'll just be live on TikTok too as well. So this is gonna be my buy zone. Put it in text. Say buy. Sorry. All right. For that, buy. I don't even know what is happening with my keyboard, right? So, all right. Let's change the color. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so I have this level as my buy zone. When price get there, we're going to be looking for buys, right? Like I said, I don't really need to do much analysis, right? Because of this indicator. I've grown to really trust this indicator so much that, I just know, what I'm saying is I trust it, right? So this level you marked on the chart is a key level. All right. So I really trust the level. How do I pronounce the name? How do I pronounce this name? As Shaya. I mean, yeah. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right. If you haven't joined the family, do subscribe. So this is gonna be the key level, okay, for US30, and I have SPX. So now the beautiful thing about SPX today is that we're going to be having a buy zone and a sell zone at the same time. So we have our TCH hot level indicator printed that on the chart. So I'm going to put this one here. And for those who wants to know what this indicator does, it basically just mark key levels on the chart, right? This is something that, I've been working on for a very long time. This indicator, I've been working on it for over 3 years now. I've been using this indicator. All right, and it has really been working. So it's a custom indicator. All right, so if you need this indicator, you will have to go to my website to actually be able to get the source code and make it yours. Okay, so we have a sell zone at this point here, and we're having a buy zone. And this might literally be one of the trades that we're going to be taking on the live stream today, right? So I can't wait for this to happen, right? So this is going to be our sell zone. So let's put this one here. Yeah, with a sell zone. right? I have a buy zone here. Okay. I have a buy zone right there. So either one first. And let me quickly explain this and why we have this level right here. But before then, let's check the NAS100 if we're going to be having any opportunity on NAS today. Okay, with the look of things, our hot level indicator can find a valuable or a more a stronger level. All right, so that's the reason why we don't have any level on the chart. But if you remember, on Monday we were able to take a trade, which is a very nice successful trade on Monday. These I called on the Telegram channel. So all right. um okay, so let me quickly explain why we have this key level on the chart. Right, you can see it's very obvious. We have price react at this point here, price reacting here, react here, react here. We have a resistance here, we have multiple support here, multiple support at this point here. If we look further back, we will still see something. Okay, my network is kind of slow, so but double money on red, but double money on red, I don't really know what you mean, so maybe if you care to elaborate, maybe I can understand you properly. You can see multiple rejection on this level. That's the reason why the indicator printed that on the chart. So what happens? Price have a very high chance of reacting at this point here, and what we really care about is the reaction, right? Not really basically the movement completely. I just need that small reaction at that point there, and then we'll be able to get into the trade, right? So we take advantage of that. So that's the reason it's printing this key level on the chart. So you don't have to do this by yourself, one after the other. It's just basically just going to do it for you. All you just have to do is prepare yourself to get into the trade. Now I do have an entry strategy that I use, right? But for the TCH hot level indicator, you can basically use any strategy. You can use maybe like something like a double bottom, and everything, or you can use any of your entry strategy. It can be indicators, it can be maybe you're looking for a fair value gap, or maybe you're looking for maybe what can I say now, change of structure, change of character, whatever you call it, right? So there's like different approaches that you can use, right, to get into these trades at this point here. So but that level has a very high chance that price is going to react there when you get there. So that's the reason. All right, and for SPX as well, we have two key levels right here. Now, why do we have this key level at this point here? We've seen price react to this level multiple times. We can see here, we can see here, here. Okay, now the thing is, I try as much as possible not to to tell the indicator to show me more recent levels. Okay, so instead of taking account of very old levels, it take account of more recent levels, right? So we have levels here, but I mean, it has to have a lot of levels all right, that price has rejected to. Now you can see we continue to have key levels, the price reacting to this level, all right, in the past multiple times. The same thing we have up here too as well. You can see the sell zone too. We can see we have multiple rejection at this point, multiple rejections, 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 rejections at this point, rejections. You can see multiple rejections right there, rejection and all that. So what are the chances, right? What are the odds that price will get to this level and react? Okay, the chance is very high. All right, so now let me quickly explain my approach to you, right? Okay, so my approach is basically not that I want to follow trend. It's not basically trend following, right? Because I take advantage of a very small move in the market. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to wait for retracement and then get into the trades and following the trend and all that. No. Now, following the trend, I'm not saying it's not good. That's one of the best way to actually trade. But based on back testing, based on years of experience, I noticed that especially when you're using the alt level indicator, price has a very high chance of reacting to key levels, and when that reaction happens, it might be a long reaction or probably a short reaction. Right, so if it's a short reaction, what can you do with the reaction? Right, that's the question you need to ask yourself. If it's a short reaction, what can I do? If it's a long reaction, what can I do? Right, so if there's going to be a reaction at a particular spot, you are sure that there's going to be a reaction, but you are not sure if the reaction is going to be short reaction or a very long reaction. Now what I mean by short reaction or long reaction is that, you know, people might look at this and say, okay, this price, you know, creating this and this and that, and this is an uptrend for them, right? So then they could get into the trade and then just buy somewhere from down here and then let the price run all the way up here, you know, the normal strategy that most of us started with, right? So now that's a long reaction, right? If that plays out and price continue to move up, that's going to be a long reaction. Okay, now, but what if price get to this level, have maybe like something like this, price get there, have a little reaction and then continue to the downside? Okay, if you have situations like that, all right, that's a short reaction. You have price pushing up a little bit before going to the downside. Now what I basically capitalize on is taking both reactions, right? So I take the short reaction. If it's a short reaction and I'm able to get my TP1, TP2 hits within that short period of time, I'm good. I don't need to ride it. Okay, and if it's a long reaction and I'm able to get my TP1, TP2, or even TP3, I'm good. All right, so regardless of what the reaction is, I'm going to be in the market and I can literally capitalize on that small move that happened in the market. Now you need to understand that that's where you need to go to lower time frame, right? You need to be on the lower time frame to be able to you know, take that reaction, because you don't want to be on the same higher time frame. And I have 15 minutes as my higher time frame and 5 minutes as my lower time frame, right? So you don't have to be on the same 15 minutes getting into the trade, because you probably not be able to catch enough people and you'll not be able to like pinpoint where your stop loss is supposed to be, the right place your stop loss is supposed to be, right? So that's the reason I have a very good entry strategy that helps me to be able to take advantage of the short move, if it's a short move or it's a long move, right? That's something I like about having these key levels on the chart. Okay, so another thing we need to check today, we need to check the US30. Let's see if we have any major news today, so we don't be in the market. Why? Now I'm going to show you guys exactly my approach for entry too as well on MT5. We're going to go to that very soon, and I'm going to also show you guys, because it's part of this live stream, I'm going to show you guys how to create your own, you know, how to create your own EA. If you have an idea in your head, you don't know if this idea is good, instead of wasting too much time to actually back test it, back testing manually, you know, you don't have to do that. You just have the idea, go to DeepSeek or ChatGPT, give it the idea, and then it turns it to EA, and then you just take it to MT5, you back test it and see if it's good or not. And if you want to completely automate it too as well, I'm going to walk you guys through the process of doing that. And for indicators too, we're also going to get to a stage on MT5 where I'm going to show you guys my indicators that I use, right? My trading tool. You can build indicator yourself. You can build trading tool like stop loss calculator, risk calculator, lot size calculator, you know, this type of stuff, right? things, right? I'm going to show you guys some of the ones that I use that I built myself. So you can also do that easily by yourself without needing to pay anybody or having any knowledge in coding at all. So today is Wednesday, right? So we have ADP, and ADP already happened, which is good, right? Now we have one more, which is ISM, right? So I don't really expect too much from this, but I mean, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to avoid, getting into the trade around this time, especially when it is 4 p.m. I'll try as much as possible to avoid that, so that I don't get my account breached, right? So 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 let's go back to that. So what I'm just gonna do now is I'm gonna have an alert at these levels. Okay. Now 6877. So we have this one. It's an alert. And then 6800. Okay. Then let's look at. All right, we're nowhere close. All right, price is pushing up. I also have 448, 348, right? Okay, so when price gets to this level, we get notified. We're planning to get into the trade. Okay. So with that being said, let's try to set our MT5 up. Okay, like I have explained to you guys before, you can literally, code and create your own entry model, right? Entry system by yourself. What we have on the chart is this buy and sell button. And this buy and sell button, basically what it does is I created an ATR base stop loss and take profits entry, right? So now if everything align on my trading view, the indicator I use on trading view too, I have it on MT5 too as well. So if I have everything lined up on my TCH hot level indicator and I'm planning on entering a trade, I don't necessarily need to go to my lot size calculator and start bringing my phone and start calculating lot sizes and all that. I don't need to do that. Okay. So basically what I'm just going to do is I've created it already. So if I click on buy, it automatically knows where my stop loss, take profits, and how much is going to be risking, because something I've already, tell it to do, something I've programmed it to do. Okay. And if I click on sell too, it knows where my stop loss and take profit. It also manages my trade. So if I move 1 to 1, it close half of the position, close half of the position and move my stop loss to break even and let the rest run. And when it hit full take profit, it just take the profit, right? Everything is set. I've put all these things in just this trading tool that I use. So you don't have to do it manually, because especially if you're a day trader, maybe you're a scalper, you will need to go through a lot of stress trying to do all this by yourself. Going to your calculator and everything, coming back, knowing where your stop loss have to be and everything. This is basically you just coding everything, putting everything together, and then it just follows it easily. So that's something I've been able to do. So what I have on the screen here is ATR. I have this ATR, this normal setup for ATR, all right, but I set my multiplier to 0.8. okay, and this is the what is it called now, the trading tool that I use. So this ATR just basically is like a confirmation, right? This particular one here is like a confirmation to this one. Okay, so This ATR is usually just accurate, so it's a very accurate ATR. So I just leave it on my chart. So now you can see as I've opened my MT5 now, you can see this particular ATR is different from this one here. It's very, very far away from this one. So I just need to come here and then adjust this. Now you don't have to always adjust this one manually, right? So you can just set it and leave it, and then it will always respect it. Now you can see when I put it at the same level, both of them now are operating on the same level. I can reduce this one a little bit. Maybe I just give it like 7.5 and see if it correlates properly. Yes, they are both on the same level now, so which is good. The same thing here too as well. I'm just going to adjust this one, put it on the same thing. All right. Yes, we're almost on the same level. And I'm gonna do this to this too as well, right? So let's set this one to 0.8, 0.75, right? So good. So why am I using 0.75 on my trading tool and my ATR normally 0.8? Why am I doing that? The reason is because this one take account of normal candle. All right, my normal ATR uses normal candle. Why this one uses the ATR candle? Oh, sorry, the Akanachi candle. I basically use Akanachi candle for my entries. Okay, so we have the Akanachi candle on the chart right here. Okay, so the trade that you guys can see on the screen right now below here, this is a trade from my complete automation. If you are following me, you know I have the ONTAS EA. All right, Rahim, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. So I have the ONTA EA. All right, this is just basically using this one to pass my Profem challenge, right? I think this account is basically risking about $1,000. Okay, so I have different modules like that. I have different strategies like that I use. Been a long time, bro. welcome. I have different what is it called? I have different EA that I've built myself that I use. You know, you guys know now, you know, it's just like you like you're reinforcing something, right? So one of the most important thing is knowing that if you have just one strategy, it can actually give you money like you want, right? You can actually get rich with just one strategy, especially if that strategy is good and you've back test, you know that the strategy is very, very good. You don't have any problem with that. But how about you having two? How about you having three? How about you being able to create your ideas? All right. I'm sure a lot of traders, you know, most of the traders you see out there, you know, especially the ones that you see on social media and everything, most of them don't use the same strategy for over 5 years. You know, if you check people like, if you have some of the ones that we have in Africa, yeah, you see the bigger traders, you know, the ones that with the name, right? I mean the content creators, traders. They might use particular strategy today and tomorrow they are using something different. So it's just like that. You have to be diverse in your approach, right? You don't just have to stick to say, okay, this particular strategy, this is just what I want to use. I'm not going to use any other thing. Even when it's in a situation where it's kind of like failing, you're still very strong to it. Like, I'm not going to do anything, I'm still going to continue to use the strategy. No, you shouldn't do that. You know, you should be able to be flexible with your strategy. Okay, have something else, and that's why you need to know how to use AI to code your own strategy. You know, that's even more one of the purpose of this of what we have here. That's the purpose of having this live stream, to be able to tell traders that you can actually have an idea. You don't need to follow someone, because someone that you follow, right, someone you are taking their trades, you're trading based, you're trading their own idea. You don't even know what they're doing, right? You just saw an idea, they create an idea and then they promote it, and then you start buying, right? So what about you? What about you having your own idea and be able to test your own idea and be able to do it? And you know, the sweetest thing about trading is that you being able to do your own thing by yourself without having to need anybody to actually be able to do it. And that's the reason why I've started this live stream, to help everyone, you know, be able to have an idea in your head, you're looking at the chart, you have the idea. How can you bring this idea to life, right? Without it costing you anything. You don't have to pay any money, you don't have to pay anybody for anything. You just do it and you're just making money from it. Right. And also how you can also be able to diverse too, instead of just putting yourself in one basket, right? Putting your eggs in one basket. You have a profit. I kind of like, for me right now, I have a lot of account with different pro firms. I use Aaron Copier. Where is the copier? Right here. I use Aaron Copier to copy all my trades. So if I'm entering any trade on a particular account, it copies across all of my other account. And I also segregate them, right? So some of the accounts are also going to some of my accounts are basically only going to be using the Hunters key level, which is this one we're talking about. And some of them are going to be using the Hunters EA. Some of them are going to be using another EA that I'm also working on, right? So different things like that. I have about 3 to 4 EAs that I'm currently using for my accounts, right? Now I could have easily said, okay, I'm not going to have another strategy again. I'm just going to base it on just this my strategy alone, right? But because I know I can code my strategy. Now I know I can have an idea and bring it to life, right? And test if it actually works. I can't lie to you guys. I've created over 30 EAs. All right. Immediately I create them. I check if they work, because it has to work. It needs to work before I can use it. If I create a strategy and that strategy cannot survive like 5 years, I won't use it at all. The strategy, if I backtest from the last 5 years, last 10 years, it has to be able to give me certain amount of money every single year. Not monthly. I'm not looking at monthly result, but at least every single year I need to be profitable. And on average, I need to at least be profitable. I need to have at least 5% every single month on average. Now, some months can be you breaking even while the other month is 10%. Some month can be you making 2% while the other month is 8%, right? That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't, like, you can never have that, complete result saying, okay, I want to be having for 5% every single month. That's not possible. You can never have that in trading, right? So because of that, but you need to make sure that you have a trading system that is profitable across all the time, right? That's at least 1 year that you're profitable, nicely for that year. Okay, and you are not in drawdown for too long, right? Drawdown is also another very big factor for me. So I'm very, very careful of that. So when I create it like that, I have an idea, I create, immediately I finish creating, I backtest, it doesn't work, I drop it. I don't use it. I concentrate on creating something else. That creativity. Now you have the power to yourself. You can actually do it. So right now we are approaching a key level now. So we're approaching our buy zone on US30. And I'm basically going to be showing you guys how I get into these trades. All right. Hopefully we have an entry today. So we'll get alerted when price gets here. So pending the time, I think we should talk about something else. So for those of you guys that are just joining the stream, I want to quickly explain, the template that we use basically for the creating of your EA or your trading tools. All right. So I mean, even when you get good with this, is another way that you can actually, teach people, teach your friends, to be able to have their own idea and all that. So it's a very big thing. You can teach people to do that and everything, So now we have the EA name. So if you want to do this, is the template you need to follow, especially if you want to create an EA, right? You have the EA name, right? What do you want to name it, right? We've been able to successfully create one EA, which is Bollinger Bands. It was just basically an example, right? I was just creating it for you guys just to show you guys exactly how I do it. And I'm going to walk you guys through on exactly what we did and how we're able to achieve it. I'll walk you guys through again today. So we have the name. You can name it anything. Based on the EA we created, we basically named it, we named it the Crazy Hunter. All right. And we have pairs and time frame. So because I don't want to box my EA, right, I don't want to box it to a particular time frame, so I don't use pairs and time frame. I just let it be. The reason being that it will be able to use any time frame of his choice, right? Any time frame you place it on, it will be able to operate successfully. on any time frame. That's the reason I don't use time frames, right? And strategy type is basically a Bollinger Band strategy. So I just tell it a Bollinger Band strategy. So if you have a strategy type you want to use, maybe trend following, breakout, scalping, reversal, you need to let the AI know that this is what's on your mind, right? So that you'll be able to create that EA like that. And then we have market condition. Maybe you want it to trade during a rangy market, it can be a specific session too, right? Maybe New York, or whatever session you want to trade. And we give it a buy condition, right, which is entry buy conditions, right? So if you're probably using like indicators, maybe you are using 10 indicators or 20 indicators for your confirmations before you get into your trade, or maybe it's just one indicator you use, right? You can tell it, sorry, I want to check this out. Okay, we're good. So you can tell it, and it's going to put all these indicators together, and everything has to align before it will actually take any buy. Okay, and let's say for instance you're not even using indicator. If you don't want to use indicator, you want to use price action, you can look for candlestick patterns. You can look for, maybe it's engulfing candle you're looking for, maybe it's break of structure you're looking for. Like, you have so much you can actually do with this, and that's the beautiful thing. The same thing goes for sell conditions too. You can give it. And for the EA that we created, we only use one indicator, just for an example. And starting from next week now, we're going to create another EA. Maybe tomorrow we'll create another EA from the scratch. But I'm also going to walk you guys through on the particular one we've created, and we're going to take that EA to MT5. We're going to compile it, and we're going to backtest. So I'll walk you guys through that process of compiling and backtesting. I'm also going to show you guys the prompts. Is it the prompt, right? Okay, let's say it's the prompt that I used to actually create it, right? So, and then you have your stop loss, right? You have to add your stop loss to it. Your stop loss can be fixed pips. Maybe you want to use 20 pips at every time, or maybe you want to use ATR, or maybe you want to use the swing low, right? Swing low, you can tell it. If maybe you want to use value, whatever you want to use, right? So you can use value or calculation method. Maybe you want to use TP to calculate stop loss, or you want to use stop loss to calculate TP. Depends on what you want to do. The same thing for take profit too. You can use fixed lot size, it can be fixed lot size, it can be fixed fixed pips, all right? Or maybe you're trailing your stop loss, or you're closing partial, whatever you want to do it. It's just going to obey that and do that exactly. And moving on, you have your risk management. So risk management is, like I said before, how many percent you want to use. Maybe you want to use fixed lot size, or maybe you want to risk 1% of your account, or 0.5% of your account. Whatever you want to use, it's just going to calculate it based on it, right? And also, we also have like max trades per day. So that's another feature, especially for those of you guys that are trading prop firms. Maybe you don't want to breach your account, right? You can tell it how many trades you should take per day. It doesn't even have to be how many trades you take per day. You can be flexible with it. You can tell it, okay, I want it to basically stop trading when it loses 2 trades, or stop trading when it loses 4 trades. But if it doesn't lose 4 trades, you continue to trade. All right, this is another function, this is another feature you can use like that. So you can really be flexible with all these things. And all these things is just writing it in words and telling it, and it's just going to follow and just do it. Simple, right? And you can also create a max drawdown limit, like I said yesterday too. Right? There's a particular prop firm, which is Blue Guardian, came to offer that if you register with them, on your dashboard, you can basically say that I don't want to lose more than 5%, especially for people who are trading prop firm, right? I don't want to lose more than 5%. Blue Guardian, came to market that, and the account is a little bit more expensive to everybody, and everybody, they got really popular with it, because I was one of the people who actually promoted them when they were out, right? So we started promoting them. We loved the idea because the idea was new, right? This thing, what I'm talking about now, is about 3 years ago or something. The idea was new, that as people who are trading prop firm, sometimes you just breach your daily drawdown, even when you still have, maybe even when you are in profit, maybe that particular day you breach your daily drawdown and then your account is gone. So they came to introduce that their dashboard can actually help you to, to prevent that from happening. So the beautiful thing about that now is that if you can do that right now without even knowing how to code. You can just put it on your account, and you just protect your account from losing. This is something we are going to be doing on the live stream too as well, right? So and then we have other things like trade filters. You know, you can say, okay, I want you to trade from this session to this session, or maybe from so time to so time. The EA that we created yesterday is only basically trading from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That was what we gave it, right? And you can also be flexible with this, right? You can tell it to give you, you know, you can also give you like give you, what is it called now, give you control. So you can decide to just set it from your, you know, your EA panel, to just tell it that, okay, I just want you to trade from this time to this time. If you have been trading from this time to this time before, don't trade from that time to that time again. Now I want you to trade from this time to this time again. So very simple stuff right there, right? Cool stuff. So, and then you can filter your news, maybe spread. You don't want it to trade from that. You don't want to trade high impact news. It's just going to avoid it. This you can do it manually. All right. You can also do it automatically. All right. You can go to, you know, Forest Factory to go get the information from Forest Factory, and then after getting the information from Forest Factory, it's just going to avoid trading during that time. Just like today, now we have on Forest Factory. Okay, price is almost there. We're having a rejection right here, so let's see how price approach it. We're going to be looking for entry right there. Okay, so just like Forest Factory that I showed you guys, by 4 p.m. you can create your EA to avoid opening maybe 3 opening trades 3 minutes, or 3 minutes and 3 minutes after, just like normal rules that you get from prop firms, right? So, and it's just going to do that. And extra features, you know, you can have like your, and even with this news, right, you can also do it manually. All right, on your trading panel, on your EA panel, you can basically just tell it, okay, if you will leave that box open for high impact news time, all right, on your EA. So we will also get there when you leave it there. So basically you can just check your high impact news every day. You can even do it, you can schedule like a week high impact news. You can do it like a month. It will show on your panel, then you just input the dates where the high impact news, you know, is going to happen. Then you just put it there and then just leave it. You get, just leave it for the rest of the week. It's just going to follow the time you put, and it will avoid trading at that particular time. These are things and more that you can do without even learning how to, without even knowing how to code at all. That beautiful stuff you can learn how to do. So now for an example, we created an EA, and this is just a simple prompt or simple explanation that we gave to DeepSeek. We are using DeepSeek because DeepSeek is free, and based on my experience, DeepSeek has basically DeepSeek is more consistent. I feel like DeepSeek solve more of, you know, this coding issue related, especially when I get error code. It solve it more easier compared to ChatGPT. So that's the reason why I'm using DeepSeek. And ChatGPT also have limitations, right? So ChatGPT you have to pay, right, to get the best out of it. So DeepSeek you don't have to pay anything. It's absolutely free. And look at just these words that we gave it right here, and it was able to create a successful EA. Look at that. You can basically write this within you can create your own EA within just 15 to 30 minutes. It's as easy as that. So what we said here, we said create an MT5 EA with the name The Crazy Hunter using Bollinger Bands. When candle close, which is candle close only, you have to also always specify this, right? You have to let it know that you are working with candle close, not just candle. It's very, very important. And you say above the basis, which is the middle line, right? Take a buy when price cross above the basis, right? And take a buy, and vice versa for sell. So in the middle, that middle line of Bollinger Band, when price cross and close above it, you should take a buy. And when price cross and close below it, you should take a sell. That's just, is a simple basic EA, right? And we say vice versa for, what is it called here? We say vice versa for sales. Now here we are trying to give it, you know, our stop loss idea, right? So we said for sales, set stop loss at the upper band. So when price crosses below the middle band and it gets into the trade, the upper band will be our stop loss. And the same thing for take profit too. When we get into the trade and price closes above the middle line, the lower band will be our stop loss. Do you understand? And we now told you that with 2 to 1 risk RR, which is 100 to make 200, which means that if you are risking $100, we are making $200. So it's a 2 to 1 RR. the EA should only take 4 trades per day. That's where I'm talking about the filter, right? So we're telling it should only take 4 trades per day. And we also said I want the EA to only trade between 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's when you're also adding some filters too, telling the particular time you should trade. And he said it's every day, so it will trade from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and stop. It will not trade again. It will resume again the next day. All right, the same 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. it will stop and resume again. It doesn't matter if it's successful within that time or it trades successfully. It doesn't matter if it makes profit or it doesn't make profits. When it get there, it stop. That's the whole idea. And then the EA should plot the BB and the trading line time range, right? So the time range that we want the EA to trade from, we want to see that particular time on the chart. So we told it, to just basically print that on the chart. And also we should print the Bollinger Band that we are using. It should print it on the chart. This will help you to be able to backtest this, and you are also going to see that your strategy, you are seeing what your strategy is doing, why is on the chart, instead of you just saying buy, sell, buy, sell. This now will tell you more information about your strategy with visual, right? Is what when you are backtesting on TradingView or anywhere, when you're backtesting it, you are seeing the visual. It will also show you the visual on the chart with this one too as well. So, and then give me control of the RR, which is, we said we are risking 100 to make 200. We might decide to say we want to risk 100 to make 300 or risk 100 to make 400. And since the strategy is still on a developing stage, right? So what basically happened is that you are still trying to play with it. You cannot have, you might have a setup, right? You have a settings, you have your strategy, you have the way you feel like you want to approach it, and then by the time you start back testing, you see that probably that your approach cannot stand the test of time. Maybe it works this year but it won't work next year, or maybe it worked this year, it doesn't work last 2 years. It worked 2025, it probably will not work 2024 or 2023 as well. So you need to have a strategy. Like I said before, when we're starting the stream, I need my strategy to be able to be consistently profitable over minimum at least 5 years, right? So if it's 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, that's a plus, right? That means you have a trading system that has gone through every single time, gone through COVID, gone through wars and everything, and still survive, right? So that would be a very solid trading EA if you can create something like that now, right? So we want to be flexible with the risk to reward. In case 1 to 2 is not working, we can switch to 1 to 1. In case 1 to 1 is not working, we can switch to 1 to 3. That's the whole idea for this one. And the BB settings, right? So it should give us control of the BB settings, so you'll be able to manipulate the whatever, maybe your own strategy or whatever thing you use, maybe your own indicator or whatever, right? So it can be anything. And then we give it, you should give us control of the amount we want to risk. So we don't just want it to just be fixed on $100 all the time. I mean, your EA, which DeepSeek will basically just give you control to most of all these things naturally. But if you don't want to be going back and forth with DeepSeek, compiling this particular one and then noticing that you did not have this on your chart, just basically just tell it everything you want once and for all, and it just create it, and then you can proceed from there instead of going back and forth. So this is just the basic stuff that we just tell you to do, and it basically just explained our strategy down here, right? He explained everything, and you can read it. All right, I read it, everything. I read it from here to understand that you understand me correctly. So by the time you just read, maybe like from here to here, you can just read to understand. But if you love reading, you can read everything, but kind of like too lazy for that. So you just read the first one and know that, yeah, you understand your strategy. So good. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just trying to check what the market is doing so we don't miss out. So just tell it, and then it just basically explains everything, and then go ahead to tell you again your inputs, told us to everything we told it, right? So showed us everything at this point right here. Okay, and then he started to create it, right? So he said this below is the complete MT5 expert advisor code for the crazy hunter. It includes all requested features, right? So we have everything here. You can also read this place to understand, right? You can And basically just go back and again and read it and try to understand that, okay, you got everything I wanted to do, you got everything right, so you just read it again, you know. Trades only on candle close based on Bollinger Bands, middle line, you know, and stop loss at the opposite band, you know. Yeah, correct. Risk to reward ratio 2 to 1, you know. Risk amount configurable, right? So good. Maximum 4 trades per day, good. Trading window, this, that, good. Plot Bollinger Band on the chart and draw the vertical lines and everything. Then he basically gave us the code, right? So basically what you would do, all right, for those of you guys that are not here on Monday, so I'm just going to walk you guys through the process again. You copy, right? You copy. When you copy the code, then you head back to, you go straight to your MT5, right? So when you get to your MT5, the next thing you want to do is you want to go to tools on MT5. Okay, go to tools. So when you click on tools, then you come to meta code language editor. That's where you come to this point right here. That's where you come to. Then you click on that. So when you click on that, it's going to show you, maybe there's going to be a code here. All right, let's expand it. You can see here, down here, this is your MT5 here. All right, it has already opened another tab, all right, for your editor, right, meta editor. Okay, so now if you find any code here, the next thing you want to do is you just want to, you know, you can just highlight the codes, right? Just highlight it like this. Okay, when you highlight it, the next thing you want to do is you want to paste your new code there. You paste it, and after we paste the new code, this is what we have, right? Now immediately you paste your new code, you come to file, come up here to file, and under file you have to click on save as. That's the only thing we're doing here, save as. Click on save as, and when you click on save as, it's going to give you opportunity to rename your file, so that if you have a lot of indicators on your MT5, you don't get everything mixed up, right? So you can name this particular indicator that you're EA that you're creating. It can be indicator, it can be trading tool, whatever. It can be your strategy. You can name it, you know, whatever you like. And when you finish naming it, the next thing you want to do is you want to click on compile. All right, you click on compile at this point here. Now when you click on compile, you are going to have a code here under this place that is going to tell us, because we did that yesterday. So you have a code under here, and that code, if it gives you error code, just copy the error code, copy the entire error code and paste it back to DeepSeek. That's what we did here. Let me show you on DeepSeek here. So basically here, after it gave us the code, all right, we copy, we compile, we do the necessary things we're supposed to do, all right. And after we did that, it is just a place for the, and after I did that, I got this error code under. So basically I just copied the error code on the meta editor, right? I copied the error code and just paste it here and tell it that when it's done, it should give me the complete code. Because one of the things it will just do is, when it gets to this point here, it will just basically just it will give you the correction of the lines that have issue and expect you to go and correct it yourself. Okay, so you have to tell it that you don't want to correct anything yourself. You should give it the complete code when it you know, when it adjusts that. And when that is done, you know, basically it gives you a new code again. All right, this is the new code. You just copy it and then you take it back there again. You highlight, like I told you before. You highlight it and then you paste it again. Simple as that. So we're going to be creating more of it very soon. So you guys just stay tuned. So now, for the people who are already here on Monday, who already saw me create everything from the beginning to the end, so let's just proceed with this particular example. And then when we are done, because I just wanted us to be done with the Bollinger Band idea, so we can pick something else maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow, right? So now I'm going to close this guy. Let me close this guy and save changes. No. Now I'm closing that guy and I'm going back to my MT5, right? So on my MT5, I already have the indicator that we created, which is this indicator right here. This is the indicator we created, okay? So now, because I already have this now, the next thing I want to do is I want to right click on the indicator and I want to click test, okay? I want to click test. Now, when you click on test, it's going to open a panel on your MT5, right? Let me put this one here for now. Now we have a panel here. Now this panel, just go through the panel here. You can see we have SPAT, all right? The crazy hunter band. You have it up here. And the dates, you know, the dates can be, you can just add your dates, you know, from what time to what time. But before you start setting up this space, it would be nice if you just go for the inputs, right? That's the first thing you need to do. Go to your input and see what you can actually play with, right? What you can touch, what you can adjust and everything. Just go there first, okay? Now under the input, right, what we can see here is giving us access to the control of everything you have here. You can control on the panel, which is on your input. Everything you have there you can control. So our risk to reward ratio is 2 to 0, right, which is 2 to 1, which is correct. Risk amounts, we can change the risk amount. We can say, okay, I don't want this one to be 2, I can change this one to 3, right? All right, I can change it to 4. Depends on what risk to reward I want to use, right? So now the risk is not involved. This is just the reward. So this is just basically like you saying that this is my take profit. Okay, I want to risk $100, which is 1 hour, to either make 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, or 6 hour, right? So that's what's happening right here. If you put 1, it means that you want to risk 1 hour to make 1 hour. If you put 2, you want to risk 1 hour to make 2 hour. Put 3, and so on and so forth. But the original idea was that, you know, was 2, right? Now, even if you, let's say for instance, you already develop your EA and then you're back testing and the EA is not profitable and you don't like the fact that it's not profitable, what can you do? All right, you can come here to play with the risk to reward, you know, play with the risk to reward, you know, play with the Bollinger Band settings, play with the time range. These are the things that you can be flexible with. You just play with them and see if, you know, you get better over time, right? So those are just the thing. So at this point here, you have your risk amount. How much do you want to risk? Let's say, for instance, you have 100K accounts from a prop firm and you want to risk maybe like $500 per trade. Just input it, $500. And that's it, you have it there. Okay, as easy as that. So I'm going to use $100 for this one for easy calculation. Okay. So, and we have Bollinger Bands period. Just leave the Bollinger Band settings. If you did not touch your Bollinger Band when you were creating the strategy, if you didn't touch the Bollinger Band, you know, from anywhere you're back testing it, let's say from your trading view or whatever, just leave it, right? Now, this is based on Bollinger Band, right? Your strategy don't have to be Bollinger Band strategy. It can be anything. I'm just using this one as an example, all right? And then we have Bollinger Band period, right? Just leave everything that have anything to do with Bollinger Band. Leave everything there and come to your trading start hour. So here we have inputted that it should take trades from 3 to 7, right? 3 is 15, 7 is 19 if you're calculating it based on 24 hours, right? So now we can basically just play with the time. We can say, okay, I don't want it to start from 3. The reason why I'm starting this from 3 is because based on GMT plus 1, London's New York session starts like 3 p.m., right? Especially the stock markets, right? The stock market start 3 p.m., right? So which is 9 o'clock, you know, in New York time, right? So now I want it to only because I'm building this strategy to just basically work for me on US30, NAS, and, you know, SPX, right? And these are US based, you know, stock markets, right? So I'm adjusting the time to the particular time of that stock market so I can get the best spread, you know, and all those things, right? The best spread and volatility that I need at that particular time for that market to actually move. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm setting this time that I only want to trade at this time. Now, your strategy don't have to be based on this. Your strategy can be like, oh, I don't want to trade at this particular, I don't want to trade that, I want to trade at all session. I want you to trade around the clock. Anytime he sees this strategy, even if he sees during the Asia session, you should take it. Even if he sees it during the London session, you should take it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can code your own to be like that. You can be flexible in all round, every aspect. You can be flexible. Okay. And your trading end, right? So I told that you should not take trade again. What trading end means is that you should not take any trade again from 7 p.m. Right? Once there's 7 p.m., if he sees any trade at 7:01, he will not take it. If there's any setup, he will not take it. He will just leave it and just overlook it. That's basically what this is, right? And another thing that we have here is max trades per day. So I basically tell you that I want you to just take 3 trades per day. Okay? You can decide not to use this option, right? You can just uncheck it. Maybe just remove it from your EA. Okay, I don't think you can uncheck it here. You can't uncheck it here. But you can remove it from your EA, or maybe you can just say max trades per day. Put like a number. If you know you want to remove it from your EA, you don't want it to work here, you can take your code back to DeepSeek, and on DeepSeek you can decide to tell DeepSeek to just remove the max trades per day, right? It will just remove it. Or to make it easier, you can just give the amount of trades you know that is not possible. You can say like 10,000 trade, 10,000, or maybe like 70. What is this? Like 7 million trades, right? So per day. So of course, it's not going to take up to that amount of trades. So this means that it will trade every setup you can find within that time that you have set. Is just going to take it. But then you can say, okay, I just want 1 trade. I don't want you to trade more than 1 trade per day. Don't trade 4, don't trade 5. That's the reason why I said you need to tell it to give you control on DeepSeek. And that's what this control is doing now. This control is giving us flexibility. We can always play with it. You can go back to like backtest your strategy now. And while you're backtesting, you see that, okay, I'm backtesting this and this strategy does not work because of the fact that it's taking 4 trades per day. Or maybe it's being restricted, right? Maybe 4 trades is not a good idea. Maybe you should be able to take every trade you can find within that time. You can just come under the input right here, and then you just adjust that. That's the beauty of it. So for the purpose of that, let's just leave this one to 4. And the magic number, for those of you guys that use, all those magic keys, right? Physical magic keys, you can just configure that, and then, especially if you're not using especially for my own personal strategy, right, that I'm using for the Hunter EAs, the Hunter's, what is it called? The crazy Hunter key level that we're going to be using today to trade. He also has a magic key. You can just basically use his magic key to get things done easier and faster, right? So I mean, you don't really need it, right? Because of the fact that you already have a buy and sell button. It's just a click and then you're done. Now, after you've set the input, everything is looking good. You go back to the settings, right? So now we have the experts. You have to be sure that your expert advisor is the one you want to backtest is the one you see up here. This is where you get, a little bit tricky. You have to add your pairs, right? So your symbols, right? So like I said before, the EA is basically built for US30, NAS100 or whatever. It's not built for that, right? But that was what was on my mind when I was building it. So, and that's basically what I have on my chart. If you have normal currency pairs, all good, nice. So now I'm just going to say, let's use US30. Now I want to test US30. It's only going to test US30. If I want to test NAS, I'll put NAS. If I want to test SPX, I tell it test SPX. Simple thing, right? It will test that. Do you guys get now? And also, now that I have US30, it now depends on the time frame that I want to use. Okay, what time frame do I plan on? What time frame am I testing from? Right. So if you want to test your strategy on 1 hour, just pick it here. Now the good thing about this is that you can even test it on any time frame. It can be 3 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever. Right? You can go as high as monthly time frame, right? So you're just going to wait for your strategy for your setup around that time, and on that particular chart time frame, and then it's just going to do it, right? But now remember that when we're creating the EA, now this is just testing, right? It's just going to test data from that time frame. We are testing the strategy to see if the strategy is a profitable one. All right. Now let's say we want to test it on 5-minute time frame. All right. The next thing I want to do is I want to go to what year do I want to test it from. So instead of having like last year, you know, last month, last year, entire history, all those type of stuff. No, don't do that. Just use custom, right? So now when you put it on custom, you can choose anywhere. All right. Now you can choose anywhere you want to do this from. Okay, so let's say for instance you want to do this from maybe like 2025. You can put it back to 2025. Let's say we want to test for 2025 alone. I want to start from January 2025. Okay, so if I'm starting from January 1, 2025, I click on that. And then I want to stop testing. Maybe I just want to test for 2025 alone. I'm going to go back to December 2025. I'm going to click 31 at this point here. Now that we have this, for our test, no, just leave this one right here. And then the next thing you want to do is let's go down a little bit more. Leave most of everything you see here. Just leave everything. Don't touch it. Okay. The next thing you want to do is you want to click on visual mode. I'm here for a job as a thumbnail designer for you. Thumbnail designer for me. Do I need that? Okay. What you can do is please join my Telegram channel. So, or just message me on Telegram since you can't message me here. Message me on Telegram so we can talk about it. All right. You will see the link in the description of this live stream. So just message me on Telegram so I can tell my team to talk about it if it's something we need. Make sure you click on the visuals. Now, when you click on that visuals, now you're telling me that when doing the back testing, you want to see what is basically doing, how it's taking trades. Now that I've clicked on the visuals, I mean, you also have other things you can play with right here. You can decide to say, okay, this account now we are using just $10,000. You can test it based on your own account balance, right? You can say I want to test it on a 100K account because 100K account is what I plan to buy from a prop firm, right? Okay, good, nice, no problem, let's do it. Or maybe I only have $1,000, $100 in my account. Test it on $100. Okay, good, no problem. It's gonna do the same thing, right? And if you have it, let's say for instance now, let's just use 100K, and the currency you can also adjust that to whatever currency you like. And the leverage that the prop firm offers, right? You have to make sure you are testing based on the prop firm that you're using. Now, your EA can be flexible. It doesn't have to be like you are testing based on a particular prop firm requirements, right? It can just something you want that is going to be diverse, right? It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be something like can work on every broker and everything. So most of the time I just basically don't touch this place. I just leave my leverage at 1 to 100, right? I just leave my leverage at 1 to 100 and then I just test from there. Leverage of 1 to 100 is okay, especially if you're risking $100 on the 100K account. I mean, you have enough leverage. Are you guys getting me now? What's my user? Are you saying you will see the link in the description box below, but let me just show you. You can just say I'm coming okay, Raheem, I've messaged you. I've sent it, so you can message me there on Telegram. That's my username on Telegram. So having said that, the next thing you want to do is you want to click on start. Now, what have we been able to do? We've been able to create our inputs. We've set our input to what we want. All right. And then we've been able to check our settings to make sure it matches everything we want to do, right? So it matches, and the year we want to test from. Before we proceed, let me quickly check. Okay. We're looking to buy. The price is approaching our key level. All right. Looks like we'll be taking a very quick short entry on SPX. I'm just waiting for price to get to the level, then we're able to get in. All right. Oh, and you guys look at that. Price meets the key level by just few pips, right? Very few pips. Few points right there. Wow. All right. We would have been able to capture this, right? Would have been able to capture this easily. Can you see that? That's the beauty. That's just the beauty of it. It's the beauty of it. That's just the beauty of it. Just little, and you can see price crashing up. All right. But I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for price to get here so we can still, get an entry. Let's see how that goes. I don't know what to do, man. That's my name. So I don't know what to do. That's my name. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's try to start. Let's try to backtest and see how this goes. All right, let's try to backtest it, and then we'll see. So when you're done, setting everything up, you click on start. So the first thing, especially if you're doing it on a new chart, all right, maybe a chart you haven't backtested before, you just put it on your MT5, is going to download the chart history. All right, maybe it's going to download from 10 years back. It's just going to download the chart history, and when it's done, it's going to open up. All right, so you can see what happened here. Let's change that to candlesticks. All right, so now we have, what do we have here? This is a backtesting panel, and this backtesting panel is basically where where you'll be able to see what the EA is backtesting, what it's doing, and everything. You get all the information you need here. And just like TradingView, everything you see on TradingView, right? Just like the way you backtest on TradingView, same thing. You'll be able to adjust, you'll be able to slow it down if you don't want it to be too fast. Just slow it down. Okay, and the next thing you want to do, all right, is you want to click on the play button. All right, so okay, Raheem, I can't do that right now. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, let me try to snap your name. Yes, I'll send it to someone to follow you or to chat with you. All right, I'll send someone to chat you up. Okay, so let's proceed. So now that we have the chart, this chart is on 5-minute time frame. You can see we have 5 minutes. They also give us like other informations, right, which is the crazy hunter band. That's the name. We have it on US30 and we have it on 5-minute time frame. They also give us the year that we are testing from. So we are testing this from 2025 January 1 to 2025 December 31st, right? So just click on play, right? And then this section here is where you'll be seeing if it's getting into the trade and what your result is looking like. Now, like I said before, don't expect anything too big on this aspect here because of the fact that this is just a test. Okay, this is basically a test. Don't expect anything too big from this, just a test. Then you click on test, right? You can see now what do we have here? What do we have? We have this line from here. Okay, we have this blue line, and this line, and if you check the time for the blue line, we have it that this is from 3 p.m. all right, and then you can see price moving. Now I already see one error with this, so we're going to correct it from DeepSeek. Let me continue to see. All right, so sorry about that. So we have the line, and the line here, it says, this line says 3. Wait, I don't understand this 3 because I mean there's it looks like there's an error with this one. So let's play. I want you to get to my trading time so I can see if it's getting into the trade or not. Okay, good. All right, we're getting into trades, and what we can see right here is that it's taking multiple entries at the same time. All right, so we have a buy, and every single time price has crossed this level starting from the time that we're trading from, there's multiple entries at that point here. So first we have a buy at this point here. Okay, so now I'm coming back to this. Just gotten an alert now that price has gotten to our area of interest. Price at our area of interest. So you want to join me to take this trade? It's time for you to prepare. Prepare yourself. Let's make some money. Okay, let me log out from this. So when price gets to the key level, right, this is what I do. I basically just scale down. Okay, I basically just scale down to 5-minute time frame. Okay, and on 5-minute time frame, I'm also going to do one more thing. One more thing I'm going to do is to change from candle to a Fibonacci candle, and this is what it looks like. So what I want to do now is to wait for sellers to step into the market. And how do they step into the market? For them to dominate, at least one 5-minute candle, and then we'll be looking to go short from there. So I'll keep my eyes on this. Okay, let's wait for sellers. Let the sellers get into the market, right? In the meantime, do we have any active news? Supposed to be 4 p.m. So nothing is stopping us from getting into trades now. So we have a smooth ride from here. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's move it a little bit slow. So spending the time, let's keep our back test. Now looking at this code, I'm actually seeing some of the problem that we have right here. And the problem is that I didn't tell it to not get into. Yeah, I've seen your message, Raheem. So I've seen it. I think I got a notification here. So someone will message you. Okay, someone will message you. Can be after this stream. Someone will message you. So now I'm seeing some errors here. And some of the errors that I'm seeing with this code is that I didn't tell it to not get into trades after, I didn't tell you to not get into trades after is in a particular trade. Do you guys get what I'm saying now? So it's just taking every single entry it can find, right? That's the reason why we have all of this. So now I'm going to readjust that. Okay. I'm going to readjust that. Let me see what's happening with this one. Okay. So we might have an entry in 4 minutes time. We might have an entry. I have an entry in 4 minutes time, so we have 3 minutes more for this candle closing. So when this candle closes, we'll be getting in. Okay. Sellers are stepping in now. Let's hope that they win. We have less than 40 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Now adjust the risk to 100. Okay, I'm short on this one. Short on that. I'm selling you NAS. Selling SPX rather. I always love to switch to this, so I know the exact place where the entry was. And it's in the ATR. There's this one too. I'm still getting 12 pips. Selling 12 pips. So the T8 go as well. Now my take profit is going to be 1 to 2, but I'm going to close partials at 1 to 1. So let's have our TP1 here. Okay, you guys can see where the stop loss, the take profit, TP1 and TP2, you guys can see where they are, right? So basically what I do with this is when price gets to TP1, right, which is somewhere around here, I'm going to close partials. I'll close half of my position and then I'm going to move stop loss to break even. That way I'm not risking anything. And we can proceed to have TP3 too as well. All right, we're moving good. We're moving good. We're moving good. We're moving good. If everything is on accounts, okay. See this. All right. We have 0.5 to be a little bit below our TP1 level. Yes. Let's see what happened. Let's look at US30. I don't think we are going to be able to find any entry here today. I mean, it's possible if price continues to push to the downside. So let's see how that goes. And this is also still very far away. So let's see what happens with SPX. It is kind of slow. Okay, so let's basically proceed with our creation. So those are the things that I noticed, right? Those are the things that I noticed. So I'm going to go back now to readjust it. I'm going to readjust it and tell it to consider those, consider the fact that it shouldn't take trade over trade. So when it's on one particular trade, it's not going to open another position again. So it's just going to be on one position. So I need to tell DeepSeek that. So how do we say this? We just put it in words, right? So let's say the EA, sorry. EA takes multiple trades. Let's say like what should we say? We can say, let's say we can say I want the EA to only take one trade at a time, right? I want the EA to only take one trade at a time. This means it only open new trade when there is no trade open. All right, I want the EA to only take one trade at a time. This means it only open new trade when there is no trade open. So now we are going to give it this one, and then we're going to send it and let it adjust it. Right, we're still ranging, still moving in one spot. I don't expect a retracement at this point here. If it happens, it means price will just continue up. But if we see if this candle closes strongly to the downside, then that would be a good sign. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. See how that goes. All right, so it said he added a new function, right? What changed, right? So add a new function that checks for any existing open position on the current symbol with the EA's magic number. All right, after verifying the time, and daily limit, we now call, right? So now it has adjusted that, and this is the complete code. I'm just going to copy now. I'm going to compile it again. We're going to do the process again. So at least for those of you guys that have not witnessed the process, all right, today you're going to see how we compile, so you start getting used to it. So first off, I'm going to cancel this one. All right, let's take this one off. Now the next thing we want to do here is that you want to go to your tools, right? And you go to Meta Code Language Editor, right? You click on that, and then it'll take you to this place here. Like I said before, you just highlight this place, right? You highlight it, and then you paste. Now when you paste, this is the new code. The next thing you do is to give it a name, right? So just save it as let's give it the Crazy Hunter. This is the Crazy Hunter band. All right, this is the name we used before, so I'm just going to use band 2. Put right 2 in the back of it, and I'm going to save it. Now after I've done that, you can switch to error at this point here, and then you click on compare. Okay, so here it's saying he has one error, and it says what did it say is here? Unsupported file extension. All right, let's try to rename it again. Let's give it another name. Save as. Let's say let's give it BB stra test. Okay, and let's save it. Let's try to compile. Okay, good. We compile successfully. Now why do we get the first error? You can see the first error was the name, right? The name that we use. So it didn't support the name. So now we've basically given it the complete code now, and we have compiled it, and it has compiled successfully. Now if you check your MT5, all right, here you can see now that we have the EA there. Show you guys. Okay, now we have it here, okay, which is the BB strat test, right? And now I'm going to copy. I'm going to try to test, right? So we're going to click on test, and then you want to expand this one here. Let's expand it to this place here, and then let's kind of like make this one smaller a little bit, and then okay, let's go up. What are we testing, right? The BB strat, all right, test. So now I'm going to go to input, and I'm going to set the input, right? The input is already correct, so we don't want to touch it. So I might just leave this one 100, right, which is the $100 we want to risk. And then I'm going to go to settings, right? So under the settings, I want to test from 2025 and to 2025 January to December of 2025. That's where we want to test from to, right? That's the time range. And then we're going to click on, make sure you're clicking on the visuals, and then we're going to test this one, right? Let's go to oh, sorry, we need to stop this and make sure that the visual is clicked. Click the visual and start again. So it's downloading. So let's wait for it to download the data. the chart history. Now let's pause it. Okay. Let's gradually play this one. And we're back testing, right? Okay. We have our first entry. All right. You can see as it's at this point here, we have a buy. Okay. That's what you got into right here. You can see we have a buy, and our stop loss was set as a that place that, you know, this is a new candle, right? This is the candle that closes above this candle right here. And if you look down, that's where the lower band was located. As at the time of that entry, lower band was located down here. Okay. And if you do this, you can see that the upper band is you can see the TP is up right here. Okay. So now it's working perfect. So even the issue before was that when we have a buy, after price cross above here, that we have the buy, you know, immediately price closed below again. All right, it took the trade again, and we don't want something like that. All right, so that's the reason you can see now that it's only taking one trade, which means that it's only going to be in just one entry at a time. It won't be on two entries at a time. All right, so let's keep playing. All right, that trade, this one was a loss, right? Remember, the whole idea is not for the strategy to be successful. All right, so this is just like a test. We're just testing it out and everything. And then right after we have that close below, it took another trade again, right? And I'm still trying to understand why it took these sells. The stop loss is up here, and the take profit is way down here. So why do we have a sell at this point here? Okay, now this code needs one more thing, right? We're going to adjust one more thing. Looks like we didn't give it a complete idea. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea behind you coding and being able to see what it's doing, because you're back testing and you're seeing everything the market is doing. All right, so now what I can see now is that, you know, is basically just immediately price close above, or any candle is above, it just take the trade. All right, so we want to make it a little bit more detailed, right? So we want to tell it, oh, we don't just want it to take the trade, we want the first candle that close above. That's what you should use. Don't just take any random trade. Use the candle above, the first candle that close above. Now if you guys understand what I'm trying to say here, is that we had an entry here, you know, this was the entry, and our stop loss was here. Okay, why we have that stop loss? Immediately this candle took out our stop loss. Now the reason why it didn't take any other trades is because we already tell it to recreate the strategy to make sure that it block any new trade when there's a trade open. All right, so now immediately we got the stop loss and this candle closes, it basically just opened another trade at this point here, which is a sell. Okay, it just opened the trade. Because why does it do this is because of the fact that we already have a bearish candle below, you know, below the middle band. So now we need to adjust it. We need to tell it that, okay, I don't want you to do this below the middle band. I don't want you to just take trade based on what you see on below the middle band. It has to majorly be you taking trades based on the fact that when you get into a trade, all right, and the trade goes bad, you recalculate again. Instead of just opening a new position immediately any candle closes at that point there, you don't just do that. You have to recalculate and start all over again. So that's what we need to do. That's what we need to tell it now to do. Okay, so now looking at the time, basically what we've seen now is that we've stayed here for over 2 hours. All right, this stream has lasted for over 2 hours. Can't even lie, I've been really enjoying myself this live stream, to be honest. And the live stream is basically just meant to be for just um is majorly meant for to just be for just 2 hours. So tomorrow, since I've explained every of all this, now we've gotten to this point here. Tomorrow I'm going to correct every of the issue that we currently have now, and then we're going to plan to move forward to completing this one, so that we'll be able to move into another creation of another year. All right, I hope I'm going to see you guys there tomorrow. And also, let's quickly look at our trade that we got into. All right, okay, we use stop loss on this trade. All right, this trade hits stop loss. I mean, it's okay. All right, things like this happen sometimes. And let me look at this one. Okay, looks like market is not ready yet to go short at this point here. So, but I'm going to still be looking for opportunity. If I can find another opportunity at the top here, I'm going to be selling, right? So now I'm going to post this one on the Telegram channel. So you want to join the Telegram channel, and if anything come up on US30, we are going to be looking for entry there too as well. So at this point here, we have this level, but as at the time where we're marking this key level, we didn't have this level up here. That's the reason why I didn't bother. This level is just a new level, which is a new level that I'm going to be trading, that I'm going to be using tomorrow, if we can still see it there. So for now, I'm not going to be using this one, so I'm just going to wait for only this level for price touch here, and then we'll be able to buy. All right, and NAS also is already correcting. It has a level here, but I'm not going to be trading this level. I'm going to wait for tomorrow. Okay, so guys, that's it for today's stream. All right, if you want to get the indicator, all right, the TCH level indicator, you can go to my website, which is thecrazyhunter.com. Let's see, thecrazyhunters.com. You can see the name right here, and you'll be able to get access to the indicator. All right, so tomorrow let's dive deep into creating our EA and also making more money. And if you want to see me continue to trade, because I'm still going to continue to trade today, I'm still going to look for another opportunity on SPX. You can join the Telegram channel, because I'm likely going to call the trades out on Telegram channel. So you want to join it. So I just want to be off right now. It's been 2 hours. I have some meeting I need to really quickly catch up with, and I'm going to be seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye everyone.